Hello everyone, this is Rebecca from Papeterie de Choix, and welcome to Tag Along Tuesday. So the other day I was looking at Pinterest and I came across a little folder. I think it's called a gatefold, possibly. I might be wrong, but basically it was just a piece of 6x6, I think, that had been folded to meet up in the middle, and it had some pockets and things inside of it. So I thought, oh, well, that looks like something that I can do. So I started playing around, and I had some extra paper. So I was like, okay, how am I going to get this? I don't want to glue this. So I took a little piece and folded it over, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I can fill this with tags. So I'm calling this a pocket full of tags. It's inspired by someone on Pinterest, but I just took it a step further, and I don't know, I've not seen this anywhere else, but I'm sure someone has done it at some point or other. So what I did was, just in figuring it out, this is a piece of 6x6 paper, this part, or not, I'm sorry, not 6x6, but, yeah, 6x6. And I cut a little piece off of it, made this little pocket, glued it on, and then took another piece of paper. This is just plain old cardstock. Made some tags to go in here, and then a tag to go here and a tag to go here. And so this was out of essentially two 6x6s, or half a sheet of 12x12. So I played around with this, and so today I made some real ones. So I cut up a 12x12 and ended up with one sheet out of the, or one pocket full of tags out of the 12x12. But I wrote down the instructions when I did it for this one is 3x4. This little handful of tags in the pocket is 3x4. So this turns out to be 3x6. So I'm going to show you this real quick. This paper started out being single-sided paper, but I adhered it with the plastic wrap, and the other one I'll show you in a second I did also, so I'll link that video at the end in case you want to give it a try. So I did this one a little bit different. I brought the pocket on the front all the way up to the V, and because this was a 6x6, I cut the angle deeper. So let me start with the back. On the back there's 3 small pockets that are just from the scrapbook paper that I put together. So these again are single-sided pages that I put together. Then have 3 here that's just a little bit bigger, and then 3 here that are 6 inches tall, and I think they're 2 1/4 inches wide. I don't have a ruler right handy. And then this is the pocket, and you can see the V that I made. So there's a pocket inside here, a pocket here, and then the pocket on the back. And when I was getting ready to put the ribbon in, I didn't have any pink ribbon that really had this kind of dusty pink color and then this little bit of coral color. But I went into my closet where I have all of my extra ribbon and everything, and I found this. It's old. It's let I mean, I don't know how old it is, but I've had it for 3-4 years now, or almost 4 years. So, so what I did was I used some of my tea ink that I made and just squirted it and then crunched it up and just dried it with my iron on the very first setting. And so it came out kind of this coral, dusty coral color. So I like that. And then I have this sea green, I guess you could call it, I don't know if it's sea green. It's not really sea green, is it? It's more like a light olive or a light moss. And it didn't change it that much, but I sprayed it with the tea ink also, and it did make it just a little more yellow. So that is the 6x6, but the one we're going to make is a 3x4. And this is the one I just finished a few minutes ago, out of, again, single-sided cardstock that I adhered together. So here we've got a little tag with some seam binding ribbon that has the alphabet printed on it. And on the front we have one single little tag that is the mate to this one. Let's see, I think they went this way. And then inside I made 3 2-inch wide tags. And so I cut down a 12x12 and I cut it into 3 4-inch sections. So this right here is 1.5 of those. So here is the other 4-inch section and then half of one. So that means out of a 12x12 you can get 2 of these. And then with this size you can get 1 out of a 12x12. Or you can use 6x6s in either complementary or contrasting colors and patterns to get the same thing. So what we're going to do is, I'm not going to go through the process of cutting more paper and cutting the size. It's, it's 3 strips of 4 inches in a 12x12 plus a half of one. So, so I have my little notes over here. So the very first thing that we're going to do is, so my directions are cut a 12x12 horizontally into 3 4x12 pieces. Then take one of them and cut it in half to 6 inches. So that's what that is. And then choose one and score at 1.5, and then choose which side you want to be the front or the back. I made the other one with the butterflies on the outside, but if I do that, that butterfly's going to be covered up, and I really like it, so I'm going to put this one on the butterflies on the outside also. So here I'm scoring at 1.5, and then at 4.5. And I believe that's all the scoring that there is. Now I have a trimmer that has the angles on it, but if you don't, just figure out what angle you want to cut it. You can cut it with scissors and then flip it over and attach it and cut it the same one. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this with a little bit of ink so I can see it first of all. Yeah, that's hard to see. So I'm going to put my paper down at the 45-degree angle, and I'm going to run it up here until that fold line gets right on that edge of the cut line. and keep moving it forward until everything matches up. And not quite there yet. I keep going forward when I should go backward. Kind of like when I'm driving. I take that back. I have not been in an accident or anything since 1987, so I have a decent driving record. Now, that doesn't say that I don't take chances every once in a while, because when I go up to the mountains and I get behind people who don't know how to drive in the mountains on those curvy roads, it can get very aggravating really quickly. So, yeah. You just have to learn how to drive 80 on those crooked roads. I joke with my mom and daddy that I drive 80 all the time. I really don't, but I do drive fast sometimes. Okay, so now what you should have is this little bitty foldy uppy thing. Now I'm going to hit this with the iron because I want it to lay down, and I see that one of my little folds is just slightly off, and I want it to match. Okay. Now, what I did, because this is not going to be seen. Now on the prototype, I just put, I glued down a piece of scrapbook paper and cut out this arrow here, or the center line. But I actually don't like that. So what I did on the other ones that you can't see is I just come a little bit below the fold where it comes together there. And for this, I'm just putting in a small length of this sticky back craft paper because it's easy and I've got a whole lot of it. So I just kind of come below it slightly and then turn that up just enough to hold that bottom. So let's see where we are in the directions. So the next thing, it says glue the washi or scrap paper. Okay, now I need to cut this into 6 inches. So let me do that real quick and then I can go on to the next part. Man, I'm going to cut that butterfly right down the middle, but oh well, you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. Okay, then cut a 3-inch strip from the remaining 6 inches. So now remember that this side here is 4 inches, so for across here I'm going to cut 6 inches. Not 6 inches, I'm sorry, it's 3 inches, or half of it. So I'm going to cut that. I'm going to leave that. I could do that. That would work. That would work. This is going to be the pocket that folds around the bottom. And this could work on both sides. In fact, I could do it just this way. Okay. So the next thing, I just thought the scoring was done. I bought this little thing the other day and I haven't used it yet. So now let's see if I can even see these numbers. Alright, so what I have is cut the 3-inch strip, figure out which side that you're going to put on the, what did I do? Oh, here's, on this one, I put the short one on the front, like I said a while ago, but I don't want to do that this time. I think there is one thing that you can do. If you don't want to put a pocket on the back, you could just fold that pocket, put one here and then fold up the remainder and have two little pockets on the front, but I like the idea of this fold sealing the bottom. So you can do that part whichever way that you like. But what I did do on both of the others was bring the pocket all the way up to that point there, and then the remainder just folded around to the back. So that's what I'm going to do here. And if I remember right, this is like 2.5. See if I can even see that. Yes, 2.5. So I'm going to score this at 2.5. I'm going to have to put some marker or something over these so that I can see those lines when it's laying down, because the way the light hits it I can't. But here's 2.5. I've not used this yet, so I hope everything works like it's supposed to. Okay, now that looks cute. Alright, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to ink it. I forgot to ink it. Reckon I can peel that off and it won't be a problem. Yay. Okay. So, I guess I'm going to ink now. And I don't have to ink that, it's not going to be seen. So, yes, inking now, inking now. My goodness. Can't believe I forgot to ink. I was kind of excited, and then I was talking about driving fast, so yeah, maybe that's what did it. I know when I went to Indiana to see my daughter back in May, or actually I went on the last day of April, I don't care about driving in huge towns and all that sort of thing, just, you know, don't care about it at all. Have no desire to drive in 6 and 8 lane traffic. But anyway, but I made it up there and back without, you know, any mishap, so I did pretty good on that front. Okay, let's try this again. What was I saying? Me driving fast, yes. Yeah, I made it up there, and especially on the way back, because it was a 10-hour drive for me to go up there, but on the way back I stopped at my parents', so that knocked 3 hours off the return trip. You have to keep up with the traffic, especially where the construction is. They'll just run you right over, and then you've got all those big trucks, you know, the semis, and those guys, they stick together like glue now. But you have to, you know, keep up with traffic, and so that's what I did. And if everybody started slowing down, then I just slowed down too, because that told me that somewhere in front of me there's probably a state trooper ready to pull somebody over, or a wreck. You know, there's always that, which is awful. Or somebody just broke down. Okay, let me hit this with the iron. Alright, I think I'm caught up with myself now. So the next thing that you want to do is get your glue down to the bottom so that it'll come out. And I might have a problem. It's got a little something in there. Oh, it's coming out. Yay. Now, the way I'm doing this is I'm gluing the front on first, if I can say that without stumbling over my words. And come down here. Yep. I think I need to come up a little bit, and I'll just refold that slightly. Okay. Alright, I'm going to press it with the iron. Okay, so let me put a little glue here and a little glue here. Alright, now let me press that with the iron. Okay. So the next thing is, do I have a remaining 4-inch strip? Yes, here we go. So cut the remaining 4-inch strip in two this way, so that you have a 2-inch strip that's 3 inches long. And where's my 2? There it is. Alright. So that's going to be our 2 small tags. And then I think I've left out this part. Okay, so on the part that's left, this is where I cut the 2-inch ones. But since it's a 3-inch pocket, it's a little bit, they're a little bit narrow. You can see how on this one they're just a little bit narrow because I wanted to get 3 full tags, not that one. 3 full tags to go in here. But I really don't know what else to do. On the other ones I did, but then I had a whole 12 by 12, so I had more to work with, so I can't compare that. So 3 2s is 6, obviously. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to do 2 at 2.5, and then that'll leave me 1 at 2. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do 2 at 2.5. Is that right? 2.5 and 2.5 is 5, and 1's 6. No, can't do that. I guess what I could do is I'm going to go 2 and 7/8. That's what I'm going to do. I go 2 and 7/8. Ouch. And that'll just trim off this little bit of excess on this side. Okay. Alrighty. Now, the next thing is find the bottom and the top. That looks better that way. Now, the one I've been using for these is this one turned across because you could do it either way, either up and down the side of a tag or across the top, and I'm going to do it across the top. Turn it over, do the other side. And then I have my little corner rounder. Alright, now let's do this one the same way. It's a little bit faster to do 2 at a time if it'll all cut. Okay, so I want to be a little bit precise. I'll be more precise when I have a pencil to be precise with. Okay, so these should be 2 7/8. So we're going to split the difference just slightly. If I can keep from moving it. And put the mark right there. I found this little hole punch at Hobby Lobby, I don't know, about a month ago. And I like it because I have these two hole punches, and this is just a regular like office hole punch, but they've, you know, put a fancy handle on it and put it in the art department or craft department. And then there's this little bitty one. But this one is between those two sizes. So what I do is I'll make my little mark, turn it upside down till I get that mark in the hole, and there we go. Maybe see it better this way. So let me do these two. If I can get it to stand up straight. My mama used to say, stand up straight and be counted. Okay, so this one is right there. Oh, got my thumb in the way. Alright, now the one thing that I did not do is make any more ties. I've got this much left, which I think would be enough to do. I think I have 4 tags here. Okay, so I'm going to put the camera on pause for a second. Okay, so I've got the little thing stained. The next thing I need to do though is stain the edges of these little tags with some of this is my coffee ink that I'm using here, and just to add a little something to the edges. So yeah, I'm working, getting these projects all ready to be uploaded while I'm going into the mountains, into the deep dark mountains. So my daughter will be here. I talked to her yesterday, and she'll be here Saturday around 12 to 1, she said. So, so I'm going to leave home here at about no later than 10, because it's a 3-hour drive for me, but probably a little bit earlier, maybe about 8:30 to 9. Stop and get me a biscuit on the way somewhere. Stop at the grocery store and pick up a couple of rotisserie chickens. My other daughter, whose house she's coming to, is going, her and her husband and the 3 little ones are going to be out of town until in the night. I talked to her earlier today, and she said they won't be home till about 8 or 9 o'clock. So that'll give me, and my older daughter's name is Rachel, and my younger daughter's name is Jamie. And so that will give me a little bit of time with her and the grandkids. My oldest grandson will be 15. Oh my goodness, I can't believe that old. In December. And his name is Aiden. And then the next one down is Lincoln, and he'll be 7 in January. And then they have a daughter, her and her husband have a little girl. Well, there's none of them little, they're all tall, like pole beans. They're skinny and long and lanky. Anna Lee will be 5 in March, but she looks like she's much older. She's very tall. My daughter Rachel is only 5 feet and nothing. 5 feet and nothing. And Anna Lee at 4, coming up to 5 years old, is half as tall as she is. Actually more than half as tall as she is. But my ink's it's getting a little bit dry, but this is it. So I'm going to try to make it last, and hopefully the noise is not too bad. Okay, let me hit these with the iron. Okay. So, yeah, this, I don't know where I got this, actually. But it was in my stash in there, and I thought, you know what, this will be a good project to use it on. So, if I can keep a hold of it. Dare I cut that in 2 again? That is itty bitty. But you know what? I'm gonna do it, because that's just how I do things. Alrighty. It's gonna be right in the E. Alright. I'll just tie it in one little bitty. It'll be little bitty, won't it? That's not too bad, actually. Alright. So, we'll put this one here. Nope, let's put this one here. So, we'll put that one on the back there. Now, we'll do one more. Well, that looks cute as a button, don't it? Except that A's upside down, but can't help that, so there that one is. Alright. And I hate to do it, but down you go. So, my younger daughter, Jamie, her and her husband, they have 3 children also. They got 2 girls and a boy. And my older daughter has 2 boys and a girl. So I've got 3 girls and 3 boys, as far as grandkids go. And their oldest son, he will be 5 in February. And he was adopted. When they brought him home when he was 19 days old, I think. And his mother gave him up as he was being born. And the irony of that is, and I'll just use the word irony loosely because it actually has more to do with higher power and that sort of thing. But my son-in-law is a deputy sheriff, and he and Jamie had just turned in their paperwork to become foster parents that day, and Camden was born that night. And Jesse, my son-in-law, was the person on duty to bring the paperwork for her to sign to give him up. He was born 2.5 months early, So they rushed him straight from where he was born, like an hour away, to the hospital with a NICU. That was on a Monday. That Friday, they got a call from the social worker or whatever the department is that handles the foster element. And she said, "We know you've not been through all your classes yet, but we've got this little baby that needs to be fed every 2 hours and you know, a multitude of other things, because he was born with drugs in his system and all this, you know, stuff. And of everyone that we have, you're the only one that can actually has the time to do it, because everyone else has jobs and all this stuff." So they said, "Will you come and, you know, visit him?" And so they said, yeah. So they went, and during the remainder of the time that they were visiting, Jamie was going almost every day, and Jesse was going every time them together when he wasn't working. So it was in that process that they realized that it was the same baby that he had taken the papers for the mother to sign to give him up, because yeah, she was in a bad way. Alrighty, looky here, we've got a little pocket full of tags. So thank you all very much for watching, and I hope you give this little project a try. It's cute as a button, I think. Since I put that butterfly on the front of that, I'm not going to put any decoration. But hope you enjoyed that project. I'll see you in another video very soon.